I saw a guy who's in a field and he was using a horse-drawn plough. I said, mate, what are you doing that for? It's slow, it's cumbersome, it's hard, not cost-effective. He said, see, Ant, my daddy used a plough. Before him, he used a plough. So I use a plough. I'm one for tradition, you see. And I was round at this girl's house and her mum was cooking on this really, really old cooker. When I say old, it was really old. And she used to pile the wood on in the morning and she'd light it. He just did heat up and I said, when are you going to do one? You can see what's going on inside. It's cheaper. Got a timer. Easy to clean, easy to work. But she wouldn't have it. So then I see this old boy, he's riding along on his bike. It's a really old bike. And he's shaking. And he's struggling up the hill. And I rode up to him. I said, mate, why are you riding that crappy old bike? It's ancient. It's got no suspension. It's hurting your bum. It's cold on your hands and it's shaking your bones. And he said, so this bike belonged to my dad. Before him, it was his dad. So I'm using this bike. I'm proud to use this bike. And I'm not going to use any other bike. This is the bike for me. As I'm walking along the one day, there's a football game going on. And I see this old boy. He's got these crappy old boots and they're up to his ankle. And they're made of that really crappy old leather stuff. Not like the new kangaroo skin that give you bounce. So I say to him, mate, why don't you get yourself a pair of decent boots? Get a pair that are going to be good. Not hurt the balls of your feet or your insteps or squash your toes when you kick the ball. And he said, alright mate, these boots, they were my dad's. And before him, they were his dad's. And me, I'm one for tradition, so I'm keeping the boots. And then there was a guy who'd drive this car. It was a really, really, really shitty old car. And I said to him, mate, why don't you get a new one? Why don't you trade it in for second hand? I'll give you 100 quid for that. Well, start in the morning, it's cold, it's uncomfortable, there's no heating. It's not economical. It guzzles the gas. And he said, mate, my dad gave me this car and his dad gave it to him, so I'm sticking with it. And I'm at work one day and we're talking politics. And I say to this guy, why do you vote Labour? And he said, my dad voted Labour and his dad voted Labour, and so I'm voting Labour. And I said, why?